You ever look at the food industry, the pharmaceutical industry, the government, agriculture, and just think, are we fucking stupid? So, as you know, I rant and rave about all of this bullshit because of our public health crisis. And we're fucked right now. In so many fucking ways I can't even keep track. First we got glyphosate and everything, causing cancer left and right. Lawsuits are happening. People are fucking dying. People are suffering. Nobody gives a shit. We have, sugar. We have the standard American diet, which is a pile of bullshit that's causing, 60% of people, probably worldwide, that consume the diet, chronic disease, and 40% of them, multiple chronic diseases. And, just when you think we couldn't fuck up anymore, just when you think that we, we've done enough damage to ourselves, we had to go and fuck up some infectious disease too. So I don't know if you've been paying attention to the news lately, but the CDC was nice enough to drop a little bomb on us. Over 1 year after they figured out this fucking shit was out there, we are just now worried about it. And that is Candida auris. Now, I've heard of Candida, but I'd never heard of Candida auris. Apparently, Candida auris is a strain of Candida that is immune to antifungals, that we can barely identify versus other Candida, that apparently has a 50% mortality rate. It is currently in New York State, which makes me feel fucking great, but there's sprinklings of it all over the fucking world. It's very hard to eradicate. It's like black mold. You have to rip walls out, burn shit to the ground, incinerate it or some shit just to fucking make it go away. It's immune to antifungals. It's immune to hydrogen peroxide. Like, they literally, sanitized a room and fumigated it with hydrogen peroxide and then put a little slide culture to see what came back. And guess what came back? Candida auris. So you might be saying, well, what the fuck is Candida auris and why do I give a shit? Well, if you have a compromised autoimmune system, which is a lot of us, thanks to the glyphosate problem that I previously mentioned, and numerous other factors in our food environment, if you're elderly, or if you're really young, or if you're just immunocompromised, if you're diabetic, if you're pre-diabetic probably too, and you happen to get hospitalized, it's an invasive deal in regards to if you get it in your cut, if you get infected by it, essentially. And then once it's in there, you're fucked. You got, I think, 90 days. And either you'll survive it, your immune system will take care of it, even though it's very resistant to your immune system too, or you fucking die. And we've known about this for a year. And they've kept it on the hush-hush. Straight up, cover up. I don't even have to put my tinfoil hat on. That's right in the fucking New York Times article, which is linked down below. But can you take any guesses as to why we are fucked with this? Because we keep fucking with nature. And every time you fuck with nature and go against nature, you're gonna fucking lose. And we did it. First we fucked up with glyphosate, and at the same time we were fucking up with glyphosate, we were spraying antifungals all over our food crops. So yeah. So what do you think that means in terms of Candida auris? Do you think it's not getting into our diet? It spreads. Like, it's more contagious than Ebola, apparently. It is persistent. It doesn't fucking die. You see, a lot of bacteria and viruses and shit, after a certain amount of time on a surface, it just dies because it doesn't have anything to eat. Candida, not so much. Candida auris will fucking stay there for 10 years, 20 years. And you get that shit on your hands and you get a cut or something like that, or you're fucking somebody and you have it on your balls, I don't know, there's probably some kind of contagious process that is going to cause this to spread with, you know. Now, I'm not here to alarm anybody. I'm just fucking reacting to the news that I don't feel like enough people are reacting to. I mean, we're talking outbreak shit here, you know. And as if we don't have enough problem, what alarms me the most about this, you know, other than the fact that if I get fucked up on one of my hikes and end up in the hospital needing surgery, that I'm at high risk, being in New York State, of contracting this. But the fact that it's going to be in our food supply. And make no mistake, it will be. Why do you think it's appeared as a antifungal resistant strain? Because we're giving antifungals to our livestock, and we're giving antifungals, or we're using antifungals on our crops. And this shit is I even read somewhere, I don't remember where I read it, because I read a bunch of these articles and did a little research before I make a video. You know, that's why I'm a YouTuber, research shit. But apparently, I heard a rumor that it's also even allowed on organic food. Antifungals are okay, I guess. So, not only are we creating, you know, antibiotic-resistant bacteria left and right, we now have a antifungal-resistant fungus with a 50% mortality rate. And it's out there now. It is so bad that some of the hospital staff wouldn't go into the room with it. I guess there was a guy in Florida that apparently they just left him in his piss and shit, some old guy, and they wouldn't go in there because the room tested positive. The entire room. And who knows who was in and out of there and how far out into the hospital it spread. You know, and it's are we fucking dumb? And to make it worse, it's been spreading for over a year before they raised the alarm. Wouldn't you want to prevent exposure? I thought that's what you do when you got a major infectious fucking disease or pathogen of some kind. You would be like, hey, maybe we should tell the public so that they can avoid, or at least have the option to weigh that as a pro or con of, you know, where this is. You know, like, for example, if you're in New York like I am and you get fucked up, well, do you have the option to go into maybe an uncontaminated hospital somewhere to get treated? That's, you know, a good question, one I will think about in the future. But they didn't do that. No. Now the alarm bells are sounding, and the alarm bells are sounding because the amount of cases is going up. So I got a couple of clips here that I've highlighted from the New York Times article that I just kind of want to bring to your attention. And, you know, I don't know what to do, to be honest with you, aside from fasting. I don't know that fasting even would kill this. Apparently it can live for 10 years. So that wouldn't, it's not like you can't starve it out of your body or whatever. You know, now make no mistake, if you got a strong immune system, you know, there's a good chance that you're the 50% that doesn't die. And you're likely to not get infected unless you're compromised, as in, you know, so it's not like you're going to walk down the street and get Candida, you know, or Candida auris. And it's not like that's the case. So don't get all upset. But if you're in the hospital, I'd be very worried about it and take precautions as necessary. You know, be careful what you touch, be careful what you do. That's what I plan on doing. I'm not a fucking expert on the subject. I just know that this is fucking shit, and I don't want to deal with it if I have to go to the hospital for some reason. You know, and I do a lot of risky shit, you know, hiking in the woods, survival shit, where I could easily be carted off to a hospital if I fuck myself up. Plus I'm pounding the fuckmaster and picking shit up and putting shit down. And who's to say I'm not going to put shit down and something breaks? And then I need to go get fucking pins and plates and shit, like the plate I got in my fucking ankle. For all I know, I might already have this shit or have already gone through it. I don't know. I did get infected and have to take antibiotics when I had that surgery on my ankle. You know, and if you're wondering what I'm referencing, I talk about it in my very first vlog on this channel, when I was just coming off a disability and looking to get back into trucking back then. You know, what can we do about this? Who do we hold accountable for the repeated failures of our food industry, of our medical industry, of our government to protect us from this shit? You know, they knew about it a year ago. And this is the first I'm hearing about it. And I look at the fucking health shit all the time. You know? And who would have thought the New York Times would have broke the story? With all the fake bullshit news that they pump out over the fucking years in the health sphere. You know, and it checks out. You can look at the CDC website and it'll tell you, all about it. I watched some microbiologist fucking 4-minute thing where she went over exactly how this works and what it does and the different tests that they've done on it and basically how fucking hardcore the shit is. And, I'm sure we'll develop a way to kill it. We're pretty good at figuring out how to kill shit. But right now, not so much. So we have this issue to deal with on top of the glyphosate issue, on top of the massive amount of fucking processed food chronic diseases that we're trying to sift through. And it's a wonder that we're going to, we need to start taking better care of ourselves or this whole fucking shit's going to collapse. I mean, the healthcare system just can't bear the weight of us creating these super infective, super immune fucking pathogens that can come and fuck with us and kill us, while at the same time dealing with glyphosate, dealing with chronic disease, diabetes, while dealing with heart disease, while dealing with cancer, all of these preventable diseases that are a result of our fucked up food system, our fucked up pharmaceutical system, and environment in general that was all profit driven and brought to where we stand today. And, I'm pissed. I'm pissed. Because this is yet another failure, I believe, of our healthcare system and government to protect us from some bad shit. And we're still not doing shit about glyphosate here in the United States. Even with the lawsuits. Even with the people proving in court that this shit is bad. And it's still in your fucking cornflakes and Cheerios. So what happens when Candida auris is on your fucking corn and on your wheat? What happens when it's infected the entire food supply? Are we just gonna fucking shut our fucking mouth and feed everybody that shit? Or even worse, are we gonna fucking start having food shortages because of contaminated crops because we can't kill the fungus? Who knows what fucking wonderful, brilliant decision they'll make because they've done a fucking great job so far. So, all of this is just my opinion. I'm not a fucking expert. Let me just keep saying that. I'm just triggered today. And I wanted to share my triggeredness. I wasn't even going to fucking make a video today because I got so much shit on my plate. But when I saw this shit, I was like, oh my God, I can't not say something while I'm pissed off about it. So the first snippet I want to, read to you from the article is resistant germs are often called superbugs, quote unquote, but this is simplistic because they don't typically kill everyone. Instead, they are most lethal to people with immature or compromised immune systems, including newborns and elderly, smokers, diabetics, people with autoimmune disorders who take steroids that suppress the body's defenses. There's a lot of motherfuckers that are vulnerable then. Look at how many people have compromised immune systems right now, thanks to our lovely food environment. that we're doing absolutely fucking nothing to fix. And so this is some serious shit in my book, given the current health state of most people. Having compromised autoimmune systems due to the leaky gut, caused primarily by our grain and our fucking glyphosate, where this fucking fungal shit will get right in your bloodstream if it goes in your mouth. You know? Does stomach acid kill it? I hope. Because if it gets through there and gets into your leaky gut, it's in your blood. And that's all it needs to do to kill you, be in your blood. So, it's fucking ridiculous. It really is. And I don't know that they're doing enough to prevent it from spreading. Because you remember way back when we had some Ebola cases come over and there was this big hoopla on the news about it? And they were quarantining shit and keeping people in fucking hospitals and doing all of this shit to keep it from spreading. We haven't done any of that. And they're calling this worse than Ebola in terms of infectious disease. We're not doing any of that. Have you seen that on the fucking news? I haven't. All the articles I read on this subject today, not a one of them said there was a quarantine anywhere. You know? So yeah, I'm fucking pissed. Do something, CDC. Do your fucking job. You know? If you can't fix it, you gotta contain it. It's really that simple. But we're not. No. Why? Because it's too hard to contain. Costs too much money, probably, would be my guess. Fucking ridiculous. Here's another citation from it. Antibiotics and antifungals are both essential to combat infections in people, but antibiotics are also widely used to prevent disease in farm animals, and antifungals are also applied to prevent agricultural plants from rotting. Some scientists cite evidence that rampant use of fungicides on crops is contributing to the surge in drug-resistant fungi infecting humans. Thanks, Monsanto! I think Monsanto just fucking killed us. You know, at this point, can you shart any more on our food system? Can you fuck us up possibly any more than you already have, motherfuckers? Can we at least take a break from poisoning ourselves? For money. Can we just, like, have a little reset? You can poison us later on down the road. But right now you're poisoning the shit out of us. And it's gonna cause a big collapse and you'll regret it. You know, when there's no one to spend the money on the shit that you sell. So let's just take a break from fucking ourselves up. Can we unfuck ourselves for a change? Fucking bastards. I don't know what to do about it. I'm just gonna hope I don't end up in the hospital. If I do have to go to the hospital, I'll be careful. And I gotta hope that it's not in my food. I gotta hope that it's not in my living environment. I gotta hope that it's not at the bar I go to, that I work at. I gotta hope that it doesn't get in my car when I drive Uber. You know, we have, 5 hospitals here in Syracuse? Safe to say it's probably here. I can't confirm or deny that. I don't know. But, you know, now somebody might think I'm a nutcase and I should be wearing a tinfoil hat. You can by all means look into this, and when you read into it, you're gonna know that this is fucked up. You know, this isn't like light news. This isn't like something to fungus and shit. That's not the importance of this. And the reason I made this video and I wanted to get it out quick is I want everybody to raise their awareness on it and keep an eye on it. I mean, that's all we can do. There's no real steps to prevent exposure given the fact that it's as effective at spreading as black mold is. You know, and when black mold's in your house, you know what a bitch that is. So, same principle. Only difference is you can't really see the shit until it's like really overgrown, like Urbex overgrown. So, you know, that's just something to keep in mind. Raise your awareness on it. Pressure these government agencies to start taking better care of public health, because I'm tired of them fucking up. They've been fucking up nonstop my entire life. And if it wasn't for the internet in the way it is today, in places like YouTube and social media, which I'm not a fan of all social media, but one thing it has provided is our ability to communicate with each other and to find health outside of that hamster wheel system that's been fucking kicking us in the nuts for the past almost 100 years, if you really dig into it. Because even though agriculture did tick us down a notch in health, over the past 100 years, we have really ramped up at just how bad we're fucking up our food environment. And I don't know that it's going to be sustainable long term, the way we've been doing things. Short term, it's going to put a lot of money in a lot of pockets, and it's going to take away the life, or pretty much the health span, and apparently the lifespan now too, of thousands. I believe the statistic is 700,000 people die worldwide every year. 700,000 every year from resistant pathogens. Pathogens that they can't kill with antibiotics or antifungals. And we just increased the number with a bad one, with a 50% mortality rate. It is what it is. What can we do now? So I hope, try and be in a good mood, I guess. Try and have a good day. I'm not having a nice fucking day. That pissed me off, that news. I'm sitting here working so hard to be a healthy motherfucker. To not have my health span cut short. To not spend the last 10 to 20 years of my life in the fucking healthcare treadmill. Only to find out that here's yet another thing that we could have probably prevented if we weren't fucking stupid. That I got to worry about hitting the health wall. So I could be doing all of this for nothing, have to go in the hospital for something, which can happen, because shit happens, and end up with a fucking 50% roll of the die of whether or not I walk out of that fucking hospital. Not cool. So if you happen to work for the CDC or any healthcare agency or hospital or anything like that, can we tell the people in charge of those places to pull their fucking heads out of their ass and get this shit under control before it is in our food environment, if it isn't already. Prevent it from going that far. And I don't care if you have to rebuild the whole fucking hospital because it's infected. Shut that shit down, condemn the building, and build a new one somewhere so that if that's what it takes to contain this. Motherfuckers. I'm not a fucking expert. I'm just a fucking asshole. Please like and subscribe for more shit. And I'll make more shit. Unless I get Candida Auris in my ass. If you found this video enlightening or entertaining, or I just raised your awareness of a possibly fatal fungus that's all over the fucking place, please head to ScottTheTruckDriver.com and leave a tip in the virtual fucking tip jar, and I'll make more fucking videos just like this. I feel like I'm fucking saying the word fuck a little excessively today because of how fucking triggered I am. So I apologize to those of you who are fucking easily offended by the fucking word fuck and shit. I might be doing some more live streams going forward. I've been working on my setup to make it a little more easy for me to flip shit on and talk about shit here and there. So look forward to that going forward. Please check out ScottTheTruckDriver.com. I put shit there all the time. Also check out my second channel, ScottThePhotographer, where I make photography videos whenever I'm not being poisoned by Monsanto. Subscribe to that channel too. I'd like to see that grow, hopefully before half the population dies from Candida Auris. Alright, that's it for this fucking video. Nice short one today, a whole half hour instead of my normal hour. Have a nice motherfucking day and shit. Fucking Monsanto. I know they're behind this. They gotta be. Fuckers. Somebody fucked this up, and they need to fucking pay for it. I mean, literally pay for it. If you have a fungal infection, I think you're entitled to some kind of class action lawsuit where at least, you know, for the 90 days that you have to live, you live well. Motherfucking bastards. Stop fucking up! All of yous! All of you in charge of shit, it's time to stop fucking up. Bastards.